as you know, as I, of course, go through many fanfictions daily to try and find the ones that obviously are worthy of being reviewed by yours truly, or at least just make a YouTube video on because the concept is so damn interesting, I, of course, look through some personal favorites, or at least ones that I hope actually do work. Basically, Call of Duty, Battlefield, a lot of fucking Harry Potter, because dear God almighty, apparently that's what Google wants me to search for most of the time, Justice League, the Timverse version, and then of course, you know, many others. But the one that I always find interesting, and the one that I always keep a search on, because of course our boy Johnny Boy 11, is none other than, of course, fucking Halo. This is the Halo Encyclopedia for up to Halo 3 ODST? Yeah, up to Halo 3 ODST and of course Halo Wars. I might try and get more of these in the future, because again, I kind of want to see how information changes from book to book. But either way though, yes, ladies and gentlemen, in a sense, I am a huge fan of Halo, have been since I originally got an Xbox. And aside, of course, from having the original Ghost Recon games on it, and even the original Call of Duty on console from it, there are a lot of things I absolutely love about the Halo franchise. The story, the universe, the technology, just the fascinating weapons it's based off of, and the fact that those weapons can actually be made in real life. Again, there are so many things I absolutely love about the Halo franchise. Now, not to mention, of course, Halo Reach. But, ladies and gentlemen, what would happen if Halo combined with one of the most men of culture anime ever, i.e., Highschool Dxd! Before, now, I can already, hear some of you, of course, having a bit of, issues with this, and all I can say is, fucking say something. I goddamn dare you! Yes, okay, a lot of people may automatically think that doesn't work. But if you really think about it, I mean, really think about it, if you look past the ass and titties...
Ass, titties, ass and titties, ass, titties, ass and titties.
Dicks.
What?
Of Highschool Dxd, there is actually a world in there, there is actually a sociological, even a political landscape within the world that actually would make a lot of fucking sense. Especially in Season 1 of Highschool Dxd, even though, of course, the majority of people who watch Highschool Dxd are there for as Angry Joe says...
Give me them big titty, give me them big titty, give me them big titty, girl, give me them big titty, 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 yeah, girl.
So yes, I know a lot of you think of Highschool Dxd as
Ass, titties, ass and titties, ass, titties, ass and titties.
Dicks.
but that's only a small percentile of it. Highschool Dxd actually does have a really interesting world, a vast world, a socio-political world that actually can be explored. And Halo going into it, again, makes a lot of sense. Especially if you think about what would happen if Master Chief, Spartan 117, the man himself, that literally not only took on the impossible, has Lady Luck sucking his dick, not only was able to take down not one, but 2 Halo rings, took down a fucking prophet, destroyed the Flood, was able to do the impossible daily, the literal sword and shields of humanity himself, was sent into this world. And I am happy to say, the concept is cool. And you're asking the bad news. The bad news, ladies and gentlemen, is that this is a reader self-insert story.
What the fuck?
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it is, it's one of those! Now, I know everyone's going to say, oh, this is bad. I know you're automatically thinking about clicking off the video. Don't. don't, okay? Do not click off that video. Hear me out first, and if you don't like what you're hearing, then you can click off. But, ladies and gentlemen, here's the thing. This actually is smart on the author's point of view. Now, I'm only making assumptions because I haven't talked with the author themselves, but hear me out. This is smart on their point of view because they're working the algorithm. They're trying to get this idea, or at least their idea, out there so that way, and I'm not joking on this, the idea can be spread. It's already got a lot of good hits already. It's already got a lot of good likes already. And a lot of people are already liking the story. They are giving it some good kudos in, of course, the comments section. Now, again, I know this does not vibe well with a lot of people, considering that this is John 117, and as such, it should be John, not, you know, Y/in here. But again, the author is working the algorithm to their basically goal. And again, as much as I hate it, and believe me, I do, they still present a really cool idea and actually a lot more to it. So from here onward, when I'm talking about the story, I will refer to the Master Chief as John 117, i.e. Sierra 117. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about what happens when the Master Chief ends up in Highschool Dxd, and why that's actually a pretty good idea. So the story, of course, starts out with the ending of Halo 4. Yes, I know everyone has a bit of issues with Halo 4, but you know what? Hear me out on this. So basically, John 117, honest to God, basically saves humanity once again at the ending of Halo 4. However, the librarian and even a guilty spark, or at least a monitor, basically does some MacGuffin stuff here, MacGuffin stuff there, and says that, oh yeah, no, he's not from their dimension, and that the librarian had pulled him from his original dimension, i.e. the Highschool Dxd dimension, and they're going to send him back with a little bit of goodies. And in my opinion, that's kind of a good idea. Basically hey, let's not just strand his ass back in his home dimensions with absolutely fucking nothing. Let's give him some stuff, give him some adorable engineers, and then bada bing, bada boom, we good. So they send him with a Forward Onto Dawn. A little bit of an upgrade Forward Onto Dawn, but a Forward Onto Dawn nonetheless. Of course, this is where things get kind of fun, because apparently his last name is revealed, or at least he's revealed to be Japanese. Now, as much as everyone wants to argue about John's actual thing, it is canonically known that he is technically of a Caucasian variety, or at least of a Scandinavian variety, a type of pale skin variety. Him being Japanese, I could actually accept as a fan fiction, so that is the fan interpretation of John, because, again, I don't want to say John isn't another race, but maybe he's half Japanese. Or at least in my mind, maybe he's half Japanese, or half Asian descent, again, something along that line. But basically, he is brought before his house. Cortana's still with him. She's not going to rampancy. Everything's fine. Meets with his family. Bada bing, bada boom. In the years following, he still is training. He is still doing what that Spartan II commando training has done. And then come across, of course, well, this chick. The half-human, half-fallen angel, sadistic woman herself, the Thunder Queen, the Lightning Queen herself, and her mother as they're in a church. Well, John, not liking this, of course, immediately breaks out his M6 Magnum and his combat knife and immediately goes to town. The mother sadly dies, but she entrusts her daughter with John. Again, John's luck really kind of playing hard. And this is where I think a misstep kind of happens. As the years go by, and yes, John and, of course, the girl, the half-angel, half-fallen angel, hybrid, of course, do become brother and sister. In a sense, brother and sister. This is where a misstep happens. The author could have revealed John's past, even if just a little bit. John could have brought her up to Forward Onto Dawn. He could have actually trained her that way, not only in her powers, but also in the kind of training that at least UNSC Marines can go through. Those of non-augments can go through, because, in a sense, it could basically be a, hey, you know, I don't in good conscience want to make her an augmented Spartan like myself, or at least attempt to, because, again, while, yes, the author could basically pull a MacGuffin out of his ass and say, oh yeah, no, the librarian thought ahead of that and basically put those kinds of facilities on the forward and done. No. Basically, he could train her up to basically be up to ODSTs. Because, again, either he could train her up to basically be of the same combat ability as a UNSC Marine, or at least the same combat ability as an ODST. Again, there's a lot of possibility here and a lot of fun that could work. And this could have gone well because as years go on, John is literally going around killing not just rogue devils and fallen angels, he is basically being what he has always been, the sword and shield of humanity. The man is essentially what we have to be, what we need, what we have, a fucking hero, basically. And again, that's how it is. So the question then comes down to, where does this story go from here? Well, sadly, the girl does not get trained. She gets given basic CQC, but no weapons training, no ODS, no actual, like, UNSC military grade training. She doesn't come along with him on his hunts to basically go around and kill threats to their town. A big misstep, in my opinion. But, you know what? I get it. And of course, romance is romance. We don't care about that. What we care about is John 117. So, following that, of course, his sister basically goes to the school that, of course, Riez and her peonage are there, the Grimmery, and of course the other chick, the student council president chick, and basically now he knows he's being spied on because, again, fucking Oni training kicking in, motherfucker. And they're basically going, and literally, he's literally just going, he's literally losing his tails. He plants bugs in there, he knows they're devils, even going as far as to make sure that nothing happens. Well, sadly, he's being followed by another person who apparently is in blood red armor and red crimson eyes. And then, of course, he meets the other fallen angel chick who in the show killed Issei, but doesn't kill him here. Even, again, a little bit of thing I like with the author, what he's doing here, but could have been a little better. You know what? I'm going to forgive the author for this. Because this chick actually falls for John after she sees him literally fight a demon knight. Not the kind of demon knight from Doom, although I wish that was the case. No, an actual knight of Lancelot, basically Lancelot. Sir Lancelot, or I think it was Lancelot. Anyway, basically a knight of the Round Table, cursed to be a fucking demon knight, finds John, knows who he is, or at least believes him to be a true fucking warrior, because he's basically been watching him do what he does best, goes at him toe-to-toe. John holds his ground until our favorite Crimson Dragon, who apparently is in John's body, wakes up. He's seen his memories. He's been with John since the Spartan II program, all the way till he came back to his world. So yes, he knows John. And basically, when given this power, John sees it as another weapon. A weapon to use as a last resort, not to rely on. Because that's what John 117 does. He is a Spartan II commando, and he is a badass. The man literally is a one-man army. I mean, hell, again, the Covenant called him a demon. So, going forward, basically the chick that would have killed him for his sacred gear decides not to because, again, she likes him, and the fact of that he could probably fucking kill her. Then, we get another meeting. Again, one of those things. Basically, he starts meeting, of course, with not only, of course, the student council, but also the ORC. Even makes a little bit of a joke about, oh yeah, no, this is a fucking horror movie, basically. Or how their little clubhouse basically looks like a fucking horror movie shut up, and, you know, someone could basically come in and go like, wee, 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 kill people. And, no joke, they offer him to be a part of their peonage. He flat fucking declines, and even states that becoming a demon would not only break his oath to the UNSC, it would also be seen as betrayal to humanity. Yes, I completely agree with this moment. This is definitely something that John would do. He'd rather fucking die than be a devil. That's how much of a badass he is. That's how much of a fucking man he is. Not only that, But as he's going out, he meets Asya, the nun, and already that's where it ends. It basically is Asya, the nun, and he is given a little bit of a warning of saying, hey, this is what's about to happen. So, here's how things will go forward. Going forward, the author could basically say, oh no, John actually did train his sister in ODST training, or at least to that degree. And when it comes to Asya, or at least that moment with the crazy-ass priest in Asya, John could actually send out spy drones from Forward Unto Dawn to actually monitor the situation. As soon as things go absolutely batshit insane, or at least that priest shows up, John could literally armor up, lock and load, and immediately go in and take out people like he was basically SEAL Team 6 going after Osama bin Laden. Why, you may ask? Because again, John 117, I don't know why I keep changing, I don't know why I keep forgetting his number. Basically, Sierra 117 literally is the kind of guy who will do what it means to basically not only, of course, keep his oath to the UNSC and basically the protector of humanity, but also be able to literally protect civilians, even if that means a rogue, in his mind, a rogue insurrectionist element. And that's exactly what this rogue element of the church would be to him, and what his mind would actually equate as, insurrectionist. And if you remember correctly, the Spartans were originally designed to help with insurrectionists and help take them out. So it wouldn't be no problem for John to literally go up in there, kill that priest son of a bitch, and basically go from there. Immediately pulling Asya, of course, into his protection. Even going as far as to basically, again, if he had to, put her on Forward Unto Dawn with the engineers, protecting her as best as he possibly could, because no freaking angel, no fallen, no one is gonna go to space. I love Tim Curry. I absolutely love Tim Curry. Because again, that is the best place for him to hold her. Not only that, but he could actually leak that, oh, this is the position where I have Asya. A out of nowhere place where a little spot is at, gather up all the fallen, and then drop a macro on that son of a bitch. Or at least put a missile strike on that motherfucker. Because again, militarily speaking, yes, he could take out all the fallen that were there. But in terms of a strategic sense, bring them into one place, drop a bomb on them. Good old-fashioned US of A, motherfucker. At this point in time, though, if the author does go that route, I mean, he could go that route, yes. Or he could go the route of basically John 117 going into the church and literally lighting the place up. Even bringing along, of course, his sister, now in full decked out ODST gear, with either a battle rifle, a DMR, or an assault rifle, or even a shotgun, and just start killing people left and right. I am talking full-on fucking Waco massacre levels of death. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, I know that was in bad taste, but fuck you, I'm just giving you a tire in terms of a death count. Not only that, but Riaz could actually hear about what's going on, and then immediately come to that church, only to see gunfire and fire and explosions and a literal goddamn war zone. Trying to basically go in, only for, you know, again, only to hear a mass, one part of the fucking church go up in fucking flames and debris, and John, and of course his sister, walking out in full armor, mind you, carrying Asya. And as soon as they try to stop him, Cortana could basically come in with a fucking pelican, them completely ignore them, get on, and then fly off up into the sky. That's where, again, the story could basically grow. This is where the story could have a lot of fun. This is basically a, hey, the UNSC is now in this world. And through John and through his actions, he could actually recruit more who are disenfranchised with Not only, of course, the fallen angels, not just the angels, hell, not even just the fucking devils. He could literally recruit even just basic humans, even rogue exorcists who are disfranchised with the church and all this, basically. Because again, if there's one thing John, the Master Chief, the motherfucking Master Chief, the demon Master Chief is good at, it's inspiring people. It's getting people together. It's literally defending the ideals of the UNSC. In a way, going forward, this faction, the UNSC could be a faction. Not just in the human world, but also in the afterlife as well, with how many supernatural people they have on staff, or could get on staff. Again, this story has so much potential that I am begging the author, don't just make this into some harem story. Actually, really look at the possibilities. Just like I said, with the Under the Raven's Wing story, you have this gift wrapped to you. You have this telling you, make me incredible! Make me incredible! So please, author, make it incredible. Make it not only the devils having to figure out who this quote-unquote Spartan is, who the UNSC is, what is going on. Have intrigue, have fun, have romance. I don't care what you have to do. I don't care if you gotta throw in a bit of freaking fan service in there. Just give us Halo. That's all we ask. And when it comes to the reveal of who the UNSC are and what this man has done, don't you dare, and I mean dare, skimp out on it. Because I have seen many other authors skimp out on the big reveal of who the UNSC is and what their history is, and let me tell you, it always ends badly. So please, please, do us all a favor. And make sure this thing is great, is incredible. Because now, author, the ball is in your court. And it's up to you to do what you want with it. Anyway, thank you guys very much for watching. As always, I've been Airsoft Al, and if you want to read this story for yourself, down in the pinned comment is a link to it. And if you want to help support the channel, because we are in fact demonetized by YouTube, thanks to, of course, the Quarter March Purge, because we are not seen as a viable channel under the corporate freaking overlords, then please consider donating to the PayPal and or Cash App down below. It's folks like you that actually make these videos possible, and one of our goals actually is to be able to get a neon sign right here, and I do mean a Fallout neon sign, to basically replace the SRU blueprints, as well as, of course, get more fanfiction, well, not just more fanfictions, but also more stuff to review in the future. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, I've been Airsoft Al, the common man's airsofter who reviews interesting fanfiction ideas for you to try and create something with them. Till next time.